Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a good break and welcome back to work. And for those of you who wondered where the videos are, well, the videos start tomorrow, but I'm doing a quick video this evening just on a topic of interest. Now, before we get on to the actual topic, can I yet again remind you, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. So let's get straight into it. So what exactly is the article that I want to draw reference to? And this is following a United States ruling that basically allows MTN Group to be investigated for anti-terrorism behavior. Now, it's very important to understand what's being alleged. So according to the lawsuit, MTN has been involved with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and they have been using it to finance, arm, and support Iran's terror group campaigns in neighboring Iraq and other jurisdictions. This obviously raises the question of whether or not MTN is now the vehicle used in order to basically pay South Africa to take Israel to the ICJ. Now, MTN have obviously highlighted that should this all go into effect, this will actually cause there to be foreign disinvestment in the actual company itself, which could also, if found true, change the geopolitical landscape. In other words, people are going to start looking at South African enterprises and African enterprises as a whole new light. This could lead to swathes of new legislation being placed on African entities in order to basically check whatever money goes through them. In other words, they could be put onto money laundering lists. Now, it's important to understand that the time periods where they're investigating it are specifically 2011, 2016. And so you may want to ask yourself some questions there. The first is, who was actually involved in MTN at that time? And it should come as no surprise that Cyril Ramaphosa was. He was involved in MTN from 2001 to 2017. He became chairman in 2002, and he stepped down from being chairman in May of 2013. And this was obviously so that he could run as deputy president for the ANC. Now, you may also be looking at MTN and wondering to yourself, who currently is involved in it that could be should we say, problematic? And well, that would actually be Jonas, the now new special envoy being sent to the United States. He's involved in MTN. And why that's important is because he's being sent there to help create economic ties. This is the same guy who had a lot to say about Trump and accused him of being a right-wing fascist and racist and, all the yada, yada, yada. So what does this actually mean? Well, it's not a good look for South Africa. And if MTN is found guilty, then it's going to have a huge detrimental impact on the way the money flows through South Africa as a whole. Because as I say, people will start to view South Africa as being one of those key areas where illicit funds can be exchanged. And we're already on a grey listing list because of that. Now, more interestingly enough, what it may also mean is that key individuals in the ANC now actually have a rationality to be sanctioned. You can easily say these party members are being sanctioned because of the things that they've been doing via MTN, like the president. But more importantly, it gives more credence to this idea that the ANC was paid by Iran to take Israel to the ICJ. And many individuals would say, well, how? Some have speculated that it was through Hamas in Cape Town because they've got an office in Cape Town. But others have suggested maybe the funds flowed through MTN. And you could legitimately now say, if this was deemed to be found correct, that maybe that's actually how the funds enter the country. But a bigger issue here is that all that's really happening here is that there is an allowance to investigate MTN at the moment. They haven't actually prosecuted it. They haven't said what's happened. They've given approval to investigate MTN. And that approval of looking into an organization that the ANC has had its hands in is enough to start causing people to panic. And it's very curious what they may actually find. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Until tomorrow when there's an actual video. See you tomorrow. Bye.